Hey, Bombiba! Welcome back to Everything Aja. I am so excited to be with you today. I hope you are just as excited as I am, y'all, because I am ready. Today, we are kicking off our wonderful Preventing Burnout in 2023 challenge. In fact, today I'm going to be sharing with you how to utilize last year in order to prevent burnout this year. So I am so excited to be with you. Let me know, what is your name down below in the chat box. What do you teach and how would you describe last year? So let me know that down below in the chat box so you get to introduce yourself just a little bit. Let me know. Let me know. I am been so excited. As you guys are starting to introduce yourself down below in the chat box, let me go ahead and introduce myself. So, for those of you guys that do not know me, my name is Aja McNair. Hey, and I am a curriculum specialist. So, I have been over kindergarten through fifth grade, all things teaching and learning. I am currently an educational consultant who consults with not only teachers, but also homeschool parents on how to teach reading without burnout. So I help you manage effective reading instruction without feeling overwhelmed, without feeling burned out. I have over a decade of experience in education with years of teaching from pre-K all the way through fifth grade. A little bit about my educational background. I have a specialist in early childhood education. I have my reading endorsement. I'm also certified in diagnosing and correcting mathematics and reading behaviors. And I'm also Orton Gillingham trained. A little bit about the brand and the business. My mission here on Everything Aja is to help over 500 teachers and homeschool moms create a life they love, like a life that you genuinely enjoy, that is worth living, with high achieving children, because that's part of what gets us up in the morning. That's part of what does give us joy. And so I do that by helping you go from feeling burned out, feeling overwhelmed, feeling not at ease when it comes to your reading instruction. And I help you go from that feeling all the way to feeling free, feeling confident, and feeling prepared. So that's a little bit about me and my mission here at Everything Aja. Good evening, good evening. Hey, 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 hey. So glad to see you guys on today. So let me know, how was your last year? So I know I just introduced myself. Now it's time for you to introduce yourselves down below. Just let me know what you're teaching. How would you describe your last year? Now, while you're doing it, let me just tell you what you are on here for. So, we are kicking off our Preventing Teacher Burnout Challenge. We will be live at 7 o'clock p.m. this entire week. This challenge is created for you to truly take action. So get ready to roll up your sleeves and take some action. So today we're going over how to utilize last year to prevent burnout this year. So how do we take what happened, during in our last year, and then use that in order to literally prevent burnout this year. Tomorrow we're going to talk about self-care routines and how to take some effective self-care routines and actually add them into our daily schedules and routines. Then on Wednesday, we're going to have a vision board party as we talk about creating your vision for this year. And then Thursday, we're going to reset our reading block. And then Friday is the big day. We're going to have our workshop, How to Teach Reading Without Burnout. And so that's what you can look forward to here at Everything Aja this week. I'm excited. I hope you are if you're just like 10% as excited as I am, then hey, we are in the right place. Hello, hello, hello. So glad to see you. So glad to see you. So today we're going to talk about how to take what happened to you last year in order to prevent burnout this year. So I want you to like get in that mindset. Remember, we are taking action. And so before we kick off, I want you to grab your workbook. There is an interactive workbook that goes along with this challenge. So, down below in the chat box, you will see a pinned comment that says, download the workbook and sign up for Friday's workshop, the How to Teach Reading Without Burnout workshop. When you sign up for that workshop, you do receive the workbook for free. All of this is free. Okay. This is just free value. But this is the only challenge out there that requires you to take action in order to prevent teacher burnout. And right now, we are in the middle of the year. So you may be feeling like, oh, there's so much going on. This is right on time. And hey, I am excited for that. You said pre-K teacher slash tutor, and you had a fairly successful year last year. That is pretty awesome. In a second, we're going to talk about goal setting. So we can't wait to hear what worked for your last year. So I'm excited. All right. So thumbs up once you have the workbook downloaded. Like I stated, the link is right there in the chat box. As you sign up, you will see and receive an email. At the bottom of that email, there's a little PS that has the workbook. Bonnie says, everyone, please introduce yourself and share what grade you teach and measure what year you had. Measure what year you had, successful or not. Thank you so much for that, Bonnie. Well, awesome, 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 awesome. All right, so now we know why we're here. Everybody has introduced themselves down below, and we are ready to get started. Like I said, today's goal and mission is to set your year this year. We're going to do some goal setting. We're going to take what worked and what didn't work last year, and we're going to use that in order to prevent burnout during this year. So we're going to take what worked and what didn't work, and we're going to double down and take action. 90% of what we do tends to end up being reactive. And so what you will notice on in today's training, we're being proactive. So we're preventing burnout before it even happens. Normally what ends up happening is we wait until we feel overwhelmed or we wait until we feel burned out and then we want to do something about it. So I'm excited that we are doing the opposite. So before we start to talk about how to avoid burnout, it's important that we talk about what is teacher burnout. And teacher burnout is the condition in which an educator has exhausted all of their personal and professional resources necessary to do the job, meaning they have done everything that they possibly can do. They have used all their resources, and quite frankly, there's nothing else that they can do. Teacher burnout is actually the leading cause in the teacher shortage that we see today. So, this is a major problem, especially right now, as so many teachers are leaving the profession. They're leaving because they are burned out. And so, if you are like, hey, that is me, then you are in the right place. So, some of the side effects of feeling burned out are this. You will start to feel stressed. You may be feeling sad, feeling overwhelmed. You can't sleep at night. How you view teaching has changed. It used to be so enjoyable, but now teaching, well, it seems like a job. Do I have anybody? Because that's where I was. I was that that was me all day. It went from being a passion to a job. I started feeling overwhelmed. I started feeling sad. I started feeling like I couldn't sleep, and all of these same side effects I have personally felt. Physical effects. Maybe you have weight loss or weight gain. Your hair starts to come out. You feel tired. You feel exhausted. You feel stressed. Hello, do I have anybody that has ever felt any of these? Um, Let me just tell you a little story about the burned out teacher me. Dun, dun, dun. I was teaching, of course, and I was Luckily, this was before I had, a husband and a child that I had to come home to. And so I was spending all of my nights, when I mean all of my nights teaching and preparing for teaching. And so what would happen is after the kids would, get off the bus, I was still there lesson planning. I was still there researching. I was still there cleaning up the classrooms. And a lot of the days, y'all, I did not leave until the lights were out and the critters were crawling all around the school. Okay. And I was so exhausted. But I thought that was regular because a lot of the teachers, in the building, it's not like I was the only one. It was a lot of us that would be there until the custodians would lock up. In fact, I have been there twice, two or three times, where they completely locked up and we had to call our principal because the alarm was going off. Okay. Like she was like, y'all need to get out of there before 8 o'clock, because 8 o'clock was supposed to be the cutoff, but we would be there past 8 o'clock. Pre-K. So we have a lot of pre-K, the primary ages. That's awesome. And in being so burnt out, like it made me really have to systematize my instruction, because planning was the thing that just, it was just taking me forever. And a part of it too was, the learning curve, because I went from going from teaching pre-K to going to teaching fifth grade. And so, but the issue was, even after I continued to teach fifth grade, my second year teaching fifth grade, I was still doing the same things I was doing the first year, staying there till the custodians kicked us out and all of that good stuff. And I remember feeling so burned out. I remember I could see all of these things I felt overwhelmed. I felt sad. Couldn't sleep. It started changing. I was like, oh, is this really what I enjoy? Do I really want to do this for the next 30 years? I was so stressed, tired, exhausted, and physical. I didn't have a lot of physical effects other than the stress on my body, but I saw myself in all of these side effects. And you might see yourself too. And so the thing with burnout, and the thing with so many other bad habits, is in order to get rid of it, we have to go to the root of it, right? If not, like if you think about weeds, that's my favorite example to use. If you think about weeds, when you want to remove weeds, you cannot just cut them off. If you cut them off at the flower, what happens? The flower ends up growing back, right? And so, in order to really get rid of weeds, you have to pull them by the root. You have to get to the bottom line, or the main cause that caused them to be there in the first place. And so, when we're talking about feeling burned out, here are some of the main reasons that so many educators and even homeschool parents feel burned out. Well, the first one is the curriculum. The curriculum is subjective and it makes teachers have to fill in the gaps. In fact, I know the curriculum that my daughter was using when she was in private school really made the teachers kind of supplement the instruction. And so they were constantly going into other places to, like, what is it called? ABC Mouse, to kind of supplement the instruction because the curriculum lacked things. The other reason that people are burned out, that is behavior, children's behavior and parents' behavior. One of the major reasons is not enough planning time. Unrealistic goals. Your goals are set too high. And today we are going to address this burnout cause today. Whoop, whoop. Not feeling valued, or poor working conditions like lack of funding and admin or leadership. And the thing with these burnout causes is there's only two of them that are really controllable, and that is your goals and your planning time. That the only two things that you really have control over is that. And so when you really think about all of the things that seem like they're piling up that we actually have control over, it really kind of narrows down the field. And so right now I'm wanting us to literally take last year and we are going to use that in order to create realistic goals for this year, because that was one of the things that we can control. We can set realistic goals for ourselves. And so part of the reason that unrealistic goals was one of the major causes of burnout is because we start off every single year saying, oh, I'm going to get all of my kids that are 5 grade levels below, and they're all going to be proficient on grade level at the end of the year. When studies show that the average student only makes a year and a half worth of growth each year. And so, although there is a certain thing as a stretch growth and miracles, we expect to do miracles with every single child every single year, and we put all that pressure on us, even from the administration to actually being in the classroom or even your own child. And so, what we're going to do is take what we did last year and we're actually going to create realistic goals for this year. So for those that have their workbook out, and like I said, if you're needing the workbook, the link is down below. There, or you can just sign up for the workshop on Friday, and in that email you will have the free workbook that goes along with the training today. But we're gonna think about going back to last year. What was your biggest goal for 2022? Or I want you to think, like, what were those top goals that you had, those things that you said, hey, I want to accomplish this year. So I just want to give a look, a minute or so. I want you to think about your top 3 goals last year. And for those that are following along in the workbook, this is on page 5. So I'm gonna play some music while we wait, and I would love for y'all to drop it down, also down below in the chat box if you may. We have some working music. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So what were your top 3 goals for 2022? Give us a few more minutes to just answer what were our top 3 goals. Hey, hey, for those that are just joining in, there is a pinned link. If you go to www.everythingaja.com/teach-reading and sign up for Friday's workshop, the How to Teach Reading Without Burnout, there is a workbook that goes hand in hand with this week's challenge. Woo, woo, woo. And for those of you guys that are already signed up, the workbook is already in your inbox. And so right now we are on our first time to reflect. We're thinking about our goals, our top 3 goals, but it says 1 goal because you might just have 1 goal. But your top goals for last year. We have about 30 more seconds. All right, I love it. Woo, woo. Got some goals in the chat box. You said 1, work smarter. Yes, I love that. Like that girl is speaking the same language. Yes, number 2, spend time with family. Also 3, extra income. I love those things. Perfect, 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 perfect. Um, so awesome. So you have some professional ones and personal ones. I love it. I love it. All right. So now we're gonna take that, and I'm now going to ask you to let me turn the music down. Wait, wait, wait. All right, there we go. I'm sorry, I was just jamming, just feeling it. All right, so now that we've identified our top three goals from last year, now you're gonna think, just kind of check off which one of these goals did you actually accomplish, or if you accomplished all of them. On the workbook, you'll see there's a little place for you to just kind of check. If you check it or put a little X on it, so you can work even smarter. But on the workbook, it has a little checkbox and just kind of mark off which one of your goals that you actually accomplished. And because we're going to take these goals and, like I said, we're going to create realistic goals for the upcoming year. So if there's a goal on your on your list that you wanted to accomplish, but maybe you made it halfway there, then hey, we're halfway there, then that's realistic to finish that goal. Maybe something else you had wasn't measurable. Like for example, not put you out there, but you said spend time with family. How are you measuring if you actually reached that goal? So think about which one of these goals did you actually accomplish? So you're just kind of going to check that off. Let me know down below in the chat box, did y'all accomplish all your goals or just some of your goals? It's interesting to know, like, did you actually accomplish your goals that you set forth for this current year? Well, yeah, for this year. Oh no, the next one, I don't know what's going on with the pretty pictures. It's important to know, I love this quote that I kind of created myself. But reflection, we're doing some reflection activities. Reflection is a key tool to wisdom. That in order to have wisdom, in order to be wise, you have to have some sort of time for reflection, because reflection allows you to build upon what didn't work and kind of move forward. Without reflection, you will continue to go year after year, blinded in circles. And yes, I quoted myself. Okay. So you said you accomplished number one and number two. Awesome, 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 awesome. So that's awesome. So now you know what to target. You know which one of your goals to target for this current year. And so now you said you accomplished some of your goals. Awesome. Awesome. So you guys are some goal accomplishers. Awesome, 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 awesome. All right. So now out of all of what we're gonna do is now think about the actions that we actually took to accomplish these goals. So the goals that you guys did accomplish, I want you to think about all of the actions that you had to take place in order for that goal to get accomplished. Even if there's a goal that didn't get accomplished, what you're going to do now is think about what worked and what didn't work. Did time blocking work? And time blocking is saying, okay, on my Saturdays from 10 to 2, I'm going to spend every Saturday doing this, or family time. On these days, I'm not going to do planning. I'm going to immediately spend all that time with my children. And so I want you to go ahead and think about all of the actions that you took, and you're going to just write down what worked and what didn't work. We're going to do some music. All right.
Walk out the door in my little black dress. Been a long day and I need to
out of all the actions, what worked and what did not work?
Skyline, my headphones on, play my favorite song. Turn the volume up all the way on my phone. Pulsing concrete under my feet. City is my club tonight. Hips way under traffic lights. Street talk, glowing neon bright. It's a dance floor in moonlight. New age and life can get crazy. I just see the way like whoa. If I'm too serious, then I might go crazy. I just see the way like whoa.
For those coming in, we are doing our presenting teacher burnout challenge. And there is a workbook that goes along with this training. The link is down below. It's pinned in the comments. All you have to do is go to www.everythingaja.com/keep dash reading or the workbook that goes along with this training. Whoop, whoop. And so right now we're thinking about all of the goals that we did accomplish. We are thinking about what worked and what didn't work. What actions did we take that allowed those goals to actually be accomplished? And which actions did we take that did not work? So that this way we can move forward to creating realistic goals for this upcoming year.
Tie the laces tight on my sneakers, sync my heartbeat up with the speakers. Tie the laces tight on my sneakers, sync my heartbeat up with the speakers. Tie the laces tight on my sneakers, sync my heartbeat up with the speakers. Tie the laces tight on my sneakers, sync my heartbeat up with the speakers. New age and life can get crazy. I just see the way that woo. If I'm too serious, then I might go crazy. I just see the way that woo. Oh, now turn up the radio, I let it go. Turn up the radio, hey. Turn up the radio, I let it go. Turn up the radio, hey. Keep it moving, yeah, yeah. Just keep pushing, nah, nah, nah. Keep it moving, yeah, yeah. Keep it moving, yeah, yeah. Just keep pushing.
So we're starting to get some answers down below. You said reflection from number one. You took a professional workshop. Awesome. That worked. Whoop, whoop. Professional development and pouring back into ourselves is always one thing. Every time works because you're pouring back into yourself. So awesome, 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 awesome. All right, y'all let me know if I'm going a little too fast. Okay, if you need more reflection time, of course you have the workbook, so you can definitely continue, 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 continue. I'll give y'all, if y'all don't need any more time, let me tell you what we're going to do now with those. I think Bonnie added, she said, number two, you intentionally spent time with family. And three, you are still working on it. And that's perfectly fine to still be working on it. Awesome. So we're going to also include that in your goals for this year. So I love it. Thank you for being so open and transparent. Woo, woo. All right. So now what we're gonna do is you've already thought about what works and what worked last year with your goal setting and what didn't work. And so as you were setting your goals for last year, now you know what worked and what didn't work. So now you want to double down on what worked and you want to eliminate what didn't work. So the things that really work that helped you actually accomplish your goals, you're going to take those and we're going to do more of that this year. And then what didn't work, the things that you put on the category of not working, then we're going to remove those. Okay. And so this is what that's what we're going to do in order to make a realistic goal for this year. Because remember, having unrealistic goals is one of the reasons that so many educators end up feeling burned out. And so what we're doing is we're trying to set realistic goals for this current year. All right, so now it makes us think, how do we prevent the never-ending hamster wheel? And that is literally by setting smart goals. And so a lot of times what ends up happening is we set these unrealistic goals over and over and over again, and it seems like we can never accomplish them, and we're just kind of like going in cycles, right? And so what we're going to do is set smart goals. Raise your hand if you've ever set a smart goal before. Hope you guys have. If not, a SMART goal, I love this acronym, is something that's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So often when we set goals, we don't set SMART goals. So going back to, what Bonnie was saying as her top three things that she wanted to do last year, some of those weren't measurable. Like for example, spend time with my family. Well, how much time was that? Weekly, daily, and so now for this year, you're going to turn that same any goal that you want, you're going to make it into a SMART goal. And I love this quote. It says, "Smart goals set you up for success by making goals specific, measurable, obtainable, realistic, and timely. The SMART method helps push you farther, gives you a sense of direction, and helps you organize and reach your goals." So, the end of this, the goal is to help you create a realistic goal that you can actually hit, right? The target that you can hit. And so, as we think about setting SMART goals, we're going to set three different types of SMART goals. But we're going to think about something that's very specific and create some way to actually achieve that goal. And so, we're going to keep this acronym in our heads: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. You always want to put a time to it. So I'm going to show you like how to like kind of take one for example. Once I tell you the three goals we're gonna do, so you can start thinking. All right, so we're gonna set three SMART goals for this current year that are realistic, and we're gonna make them SMART goals. And what the R stands for, realistic, but we're going to make sure that they're very specific. We're going to make sure that they're measurable, that they're achievable, that's something that you can actually do, that is realistic, and it's timely. And so you're going to set three goals: a personal goal for yourself, an educational goal as you as an educator, and one SMART goal for your children. And so this way it will keep you balanced as we develop a life that we love and enjoy. It's all about balancing that work life balance, that home life balance. And so as we set our goals, we're setting a personal goal for ourselves, a goal for us as an educator, and then a goal for our children to achieve. And so I want to take one of the goals. So since Bonnie was so transparent down below in the chat box, we're gonna take the one she said that if this was you, I would tweak, and that is spend time with family. She wanted to spend more time with her family last year. So if this was something that you also wanted to do this year, you're now going to take that and make it into a SMART goal. And so, in order to do this, it has to be very specific. Okay. So, I cannot measure spending time with my family, but I can measure the occurrence of how often I spend time with my family, right? And so now I'm getting somewhere. And so now the thing I'm going to measure is how many days per week I'm not working and I'm spending time with my family. And so now I have a target to hit. And so let's say it's at least 4 days a week. That out of 4 days a week, you are using family time. Maybe your goal is 3 days a week. Maybe you're like, I'm not doing any time and I'm wanting to increase my time. I'm tired of spending so much time at school. I'm trying to spend tired of spending so much time at work and giving it to others. I need some me time. And so now what you're going to do, instead of just saying that, hey, I want more me time, you're going to make it very, very specific. How often do you want that me time? How often do you want that family time? And then set a parameter. Do you want, is this an hour? Is this 2 hours? So a really achievable SMART goal is, I would almost take that for me. I'm going to do the example of 3 hours. Um, each week, I will spend 3 total hours or days with my family. That's realistic. Out of 7 days a week, I'm only asking for three. 3 hours meaning it's just an hour for 3 different days. That's very achievable. It's measurable. I can actually measure the number of days. I can measure 3 hours. I can actually measure that. It's very specific and it is very timely because I'm ready to do it now. I would say, starting February 1st. There we go. So that would give it the timely. Sometimes your timely might be a end date or a due date. For example, if you are making a SMART goal for your children, you might say, I want all of my children to master short and long vowel sounds by May 1st. Okay, that's very specific. You're giving it's achievable. You're very like you're honing in on short and long vowel sounds. And now you've given yourself about 5 months to do or 4 months to do it. And so this is what a SMART goal is. And so what you're gonna do, because you guys probably have already started it by now, as I've been giving all these examples, what you're gonna do is now set 3 SMART goals. One for your personal life, one education wise. We're going to talk about self-care tips and how to incorporate those into our personal lives on tomorrow. And so, hey, those are definitely things that you can actually accomplish within your educational life as well. Maybe you're one that is like, I want to leave at contract hours this year. I want to leave at the contracted hours. And so maybe your SMART goal is X amount of days. I am leaving at contracted hours starting February 1st. There we go. Maybe yours is there's a degree that you wanted to go back to. And so your specific goal is I will, apply to go back to school by X and give yourself a day. So what is one personal goal, one educational goal, and one goal that you have for your children? Now I've given like a few different examples of this. But yes, so you are doing your 3 SMART goals. I feel like the last song was like more upbeat. We don't change. We might have to go back to this song. There we go. That's just gonna be our working song.
Been a long day and I need to de-stress. Sun sets behind downtown skyline. My headphones on, playing my favorite.
Anybody coming in, we are setting SMART goals for this year. Goals that are very specific. We're setting goals that are measurable. We're setting goals that are achievable, realistic, and timely. If you're wanting the workbook, there is a workbook that goes hand in hand with today's training. It is down below. You can grab it and it's going to cost the same. But there is a workbook that goes hand in hand that you can, use that while you are, watching and work.
Walk down the street and I move to the snare. Throw my hands up to the bass like a prayer. Stars shine behind.
We are creating our SMART goals. We're creating one personal SMART goal, one goal for us as an educator, and one goal for our children for this year. And for those of you guys that are downloading the workbook right now, this is found on page 5 of the workbook. So page 5, you have the time to set your SMART goal. And let me know down below in the chat box if anybody's having any difficulty signing up. But it says you sign up, you receive an email. At the bottom of the email, you will see the workbook. Just click the link, and it is editable. It's an editable workbook. Hey, and we will use that same workbook throughout the entire challenge. So it's one workbook for the entire week. And so the great thing about that is you can just keep saving it. On your computer, and then at the end of the week, you will have everything you need to prevent burnout this year. Kind of give me like a thumbs up once you guys have created your SMART goals, and I would love to hear them. Bonnie, I know you shared your goals for this year. We would love to hear some of your SMART goals for the next book, for the current year. If you share your goals for that. That was another one. All right. If you guys need more time, you can always pause and then check back in. Like I said, if it's going a little too fast, just let me know. Okay. All right. So once you have your goals and you have your three smart goals, you have like a target to actually hit. You have something that you can actually try to achieve. And it's really specific because you only have three goals now. One is personal, one is education, and one is what you are working on your children on. So you guys should at least feel like give yourselves a round of applause, pat on the back. That was the hardest part right there, is setting those three smart goals. And so now in your next page of your workbook, we are going to create a plan. So now that we have our goals, there now what, right? We need to make sure that we put a plan in place. If not, you are very likely to go back on that hamster wheel that we talked about a second ago. And so now that you actually have a target to hit, you have set some smart goals for yourself. Now we're going to take those smart goals and we're actually going to create a action plan. So, like I stated, we just created SMART goals. We created a goal for our personal life. We created a goal for our educational life as us as educators. We created a goal for our children. And a SMART goal was simply something that was specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. And so now that we've taken SMART goals, we've created three SMART goals. Now we are going to create a plan so that we can actually achieve the goals that we just set in place. And so remember earlier, I had you think about what worked last year and what did not work. So earlier you took your goals that you had currently, or in the past, you took your goals from last year and we pulled out what worked for you. And we said we were going to eliminate what didn't work for you. So now I want you to look at what worked for you. For example, if Saturday mornings work for you, then Saturday mornings need to be a part of your action plan. Okay. If the leaving early don't work, like designate one day. If you've already created like a personal day for yourself, then keep that and put that in your action plan. Whatever it is that you had in the work category from your goals from last year, we're going to take that and we're going to implement it within our action plan for this year. And so now you are going to take action. I'm telling you, this challenge is designed for you to actually take action. We're going to create an action plan. So on the work with the workbook on page 6, you will see a place for you to take each one of your goals, your educational goal, your personal goal, and your goal you have for your children. And you are going to write 3 different actions. So for example, that doesn't that example I did with the family time, the I am going to spend 3 days per week, at least 1 hour per day with my family of uninterrupted family time starting February 1st. With that smart goal, now I'm going to create 3 things that will help me implement it. The first thing is I am literally going to have a planning day at work so that I can have an entire so that all my planning time, like a late day, is on one day. So the rest of my days are open for me to do that. The next plan of action is during that 1 hour, I'm going to take my phone and I'm going to leave it in the car so that I will not be interrupted during that hour. The third thing I'm going to do is actually put it in my calendar. I looked at what worked last year, and last year, one of the things that worked for me was having things on my calendar. And so now I'm going to actually block off family time on my calendar. So hopefully y'all see how I did that. I took what worked from last year and I created actionable, realistic things that will help ensure that I complete that goal this year. And so on workbook page number 6, you will see the space for you to add your 3 actions so that you can complete that goal. Thank you, Bonnie, for being so open and transparent down below in the chat box. I love it. I love it. You said, okay, your SMART goals. Your personal goal is ending your virtual classes by 4 p.m. I love that. You're giving yourself an ending time to kind of get off the computer so that the rest of that evening is your personal time. Um, your second goal, your education goal, is to complete teaching by design. Awesome. I know you kind of paused in the on the course there, so I love it. You're like, hey, I am going to finish the course. I love it. And your third one is visit your son in New Orleans and help him prepare to relocate. Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for being transparent down below in the chat box. Hi, Angel. We are so glad to have you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. He said, I'm new here. Happy to share. Let us know. Are you a parent? Are you a teacher? If so, what do you teach? Let us know a little bit about yourselves. Woo, woo, we are so glad to have you. You said, thanks, Bonnie. I'm making that a goal as well. Like that, the to complete teaching by design. You're like, look, if you looked at one of her goals earlier from last year was to teach smarter and like to work smarter. And so it goes hand in hand with the course, right? Teach smarter, not harder. Hey, Angel said, hey, Keisha. I love it. I love it. And so now we're actually you say, yeah, complete teaching by design. I'm telling y'all. I know even when we had our one-on-one, I'm like, it's in there. You're like, what? So I'm so glad that both of you guys have that on your goal. Awesome, awesome. You said you are a project manager. Awesome. That's interesting. I love it. I love it. Well, I'm glad that you guys are here. We are goal setting. I know I'm doing a lot of talking. I was supposed to be playing this music while we did that. We can do this song. Trying to like get some music going, just a little bit of music. There we go. He said, "Hey, welcome newbies. I love it. I love it." Well, I'm seeing that Angel and Keisha must know each other. So we're so excited that you are here on today. And so now that we have created our SMART goals for this year, we've already looked at what didn't work last year. And so now this is the bread and butter right here is creating our action plan. And like I stated, for those of you guys that are getting on, you're like, what? There's a workbook. There is a workbook down below. It's actually a pinned comment. It should be at the top, actually. You will see how you can download the workbook. An email will come to your email. At the bottom of that email, you will see the link to the workbook. And so you can use that workbook to to work and create your goals. And so we'll use that same workbook the entire week. So I'm excited to see you guys on here today. I expect to see you back tomorrow as we take this and now implement self-care routines to our daily schedule to prevent burnout, because I'm helping you create not only the life you love, but to be able to make a bigger impact. You have to also make bigger, make more space for yourself. Like I stated, and I dropped a video yesterday. I was like, you can't pour into others if you have nothing to pour, right? And so that's one part of the reason that I really, really wanted to do this challenge like this is because right now I see so many teachers that are just like burned out over it. And so let's reset, get our minds back together so that we can make a bigger impact. All right. So with that stated, we have to create an action plan. So I love that even Keisha and Angel, Keisha and Bonnie, two of your goals was to finish the Teaching by Design course. So in your action plan, what are 3 things that you are going to do to make sure that SMART goal actually happens? So it can be time blocking, maybe it's spending X amount of time per week in it. I know I give you guys a calendar of how often to do it. I give you a 12-week calendar and a 6-week calendar. Maybe you're saying, hey, I'm going to actually use the calendar, stick through it, and restart it. Whatever it is, whatever it is. You're creating three different actions to help ensure that you do that. Y'all could even make yourselves accountability partners. Hey, I love that as well. Having accountability partners certainly makes sure that we get these things done, doesn't it? So give me a big thumbs up once you guys have your action plan set in place for each one of these goals. We have about 3 more minutes that we have watched. This is the bread and butter. And for those of you guys that are just joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Preventing Burnout Challenge. This is a 4-day challenge. We will be here all week long preventing burnout and resetting our mind, our bodies for this current year. And so right now we are taking SMART goals. We are making realistic goals for this year and creating an action plan so that those goals can actually be obtainable. So, creating a SMART goal, something that's smart, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely, and then creating three different actions that will help us complete that particular SMART goal. I see Bonnie put her action plan. One, you're gonna redo your virtual schedule. I love that. Do create a study schedule and make a date with your son. Awesome, awesome. So it looks like you're having some steps. You just gotta give us one for each one of your goals. Awesome. And the way that the workbook is, you can actually have up to 3 different actions per goal as well. I love that. I love it. Yes, that's what it's all about, the network and the community. I'm down for y'all being accountability partners. Like it's on both of y'all's schedule. I love it. I am so here for the accountability part. I am so down for it. A lot of times, like me, one of my goals that I did, my personal goal, is I want to work out 4 times a week. And I hate working out. Absolutely hate it. Absolutely, I can't stand working. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. But I know that I need to take a better care of my body. And so in order for me to do that, I'm like, I need an accountability partner, period. And so got my husband on board, and we also have a personal trainer, an expert that can help us achieve that goal. And so we've been doing it for almost 2 months now. And so I am really big on accountability partners. So I love it. You guys will be awesome accountability partners. Awesome accountability partners. So I am so excited to see the connections happening down below in the chat box. Woo, woo. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. We have about 1 more minute for those that are following along live. If not, you can certainly pause as needed. Angel, thanks. I love it. You said spend more time seeking God's word. Oh, I love that personal goal. Love. Okay. You said create a prayer faith journal. Come on now. Devoting reading daily. Awesome. And commit to weekly Bible study. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I don't know if you know this, but I do have another channel. It's called Anointed Living Ministries, in which I go live every single morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You don't have to join live. There's a lot of people that watch the replays, but we do have a ministry there, and so that can definitely be a part of your journey as you spending more time with God. I love it. I love it. So I look forward to seeing you over there too as well. As well. But that's awesome, awesome. And for those that are just joining, we created a personal goal, an educational goal, and a goal for our children. And so taking those goals and creating action plans around the goal. And Bonnie, if you can, since I'm working on doing all this, Bonnie, if you can drop the link. If you could drop the link to the ministry. So then that way Angel just kind of like has that as well. He said, thanks for sharing. Will you give the channel name again? Yes. Bonnie, if Bonnie could drop the link, but it's Anointed Living Ministries. And yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Look, I know we're on here talking about goals right now. We are talking about goals right now, but hey, when you there we go. I just put it down there as well. But it's right is I just added the link there as well. But yes, hopefully that can help you complete your goal. So awesome, awesome. See, you never know who you're gonna talk to, who you're gonna meet. Um, you never know. I'm so glad to have you on here, Angel. Well, today, right now, the workbook for those of you guys that's just joining, there is a workbook that not only goes along with today's goal of create taking last year and using what didn't work and what worked well to creating goals for this year. So now you guys are walking away with goals. You're welcome that are realistic, and you're walking away with an action plan, a plan to actually help you actually meet that goal. So as you go through this year, remember this was because burnout, one of the causes for burnout was said having unrealistic goals. Well, now you have realistic goals and you have an action plan in order to help you actually complete that goal. You're walking away with a personal goal, an educational goal, and a goal for your children. And so what you're gonna do is come back tomorrow. Woo, woo, woo. Same place, same time. We talked about preventing burnout and just make sure that we are preventative. We're working smarter, not harder. A lot about my brand, for those of you guys that have been on for a while, I work smarter, not harder, right? And so with teaching reading, there's so many different parts to reading. It's so common that so many educators and parents end up feeling overwhelmed, end up feeling lost. And so I wanted to do this challenge to help you really prevent burnout. And so we're going to do some personal self-care, and then take everything that we did, especially on today, create our vision for this year, and then apply that to our reading block. And so all of this is, I'm telling you, the trust the process. All of this is going to carry us into our actual reading block. But like I said, you cannot pour into others if you have nothing to pour. And so this week, pour into yourselves, make it a priority in your life to show up each and every day. Today, we talked about utilizing last year to prevent burnout this year. Tomorrow, make sure you come back, same place, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to talk about how to use self-care routines to prevent burnout. So I'm going to give you some routines, and then we're going to take those and actually apply it to your regular daily routines. And then on Wednesday, we're going to have a digital vision board party. So you're going to take some of those goals, things that you want, and you're going to create your own digital vision board. We have the templates. All you have to do is show up. We will be doing that using Canva. On Thursday, we're going to reset your reading block for semester 2. So we're going to take some of those goals, those educational goals that you had, and those goals that you had set for your children. And so you're going to take those goals, and we're going to apply those goals to your semester 2. And we're going to really talk about, okay, now how do we take that and actually apply them to our reading block? What does that look like? What does our ideal reading block look like? And how could we make that happen? Um, and then on Friday is the big day. Friday, I'm going to actually teach you how to make this an ongoing thing. How do you prevent teacher burnout on a regular when it comes to teaching reading? And so in my program, Teaching by Design, I literally teach all things reading to all my clients. We do from whole group to small group to fluency to comprehension. And so there is a lot of pieces to the puzzle. And so in the workshop, you will discover the secrets to getting your reading instruction to run on autopilot so that you can teach with ease. So if you also want to hear, like, hey, I'm not even burnt out, I just want to know how to teach reading, then you are in the right place. I cannot wait to see you at the workshop on Friday. I'm excited. I hope you're as excited as I am, because that, if you think we took action today, just get ready. In that workshop, I'm going to show you how all of this can be yours, how you can have a bank of lessons that are optimized for engagement, how to have a weekly lesson planning system that will save you hours of lesson planning time per week. And not just lesson planning time. The average teacher spends over 12 hours per week just creating lessons. That's the researching, the actual planning, and the creating the materials. And so I'm going to show you how to have a planning system that allows you to eliminate a lot of that time. Imagine having schedules, routines, transitions, management tools allowing you to be stress free. Imagine having simplicity and clarity, knowing what to teach, when to teach, and how to teach. Imagine having effective reading professional development literally at your fingertips. You don't know how to do something? Well, you have a full step by step tutorial right there at your fingertips. Imagine having high reading growth in your children that actually allows them to hit their goals. On today, we just developed SMART goals. You created a goal for yourself, a goal for you as an educator, but you also created a goal for your children. So imagine them not only hitting that goal, but surpassing that goal, going beyond that goal. And then in the midst of all of this, imagine being supported along the journey by a professional that can walk you through this process step by step. We just talked about having an accountability partner. Hello. Imagine having not only an accountability partner, but somebody that has been there and has done that, right? And so your next step, if you haven't already, to sign up for the workshop on January 27th. Spots are very limited as it will be an intimate setting on Zoom. And also turn on all of your notifications for the challenge. I said see you next week. I meant see you this week. Duh. The challenge is already here. But turn on all of your notifications. So tomorrow we're going to talk about self-care. And so on the self-care video, you'll see a little spot that says notify me. Turn it on so that you will be notified when we go live. We'll go live all this week at 7 p.m. So set your timer. Set it, put it in your calendar. I look forward to taking you to a different level, taking you to another level, helping you be proactive, preventing burnout so that we can really spend our time on differentiating and giving our children what they need without us feeling overwhelmed or burned out doing it. So I'll see you the rest of this week. Thank you so much for joining live, and for those that are watching the replay and watching the video again, we thank you guys. If you have any problems downloading the workbook, just let me know. But like I said, as soon as you sign up for the workshop, the workbook link is in the email at the bottom. And so that's where you can find the workbook. And I look forward to seeing you at the same place, same time tomorrow. It was so nice meeting you, Angel, down below in the chat box. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Yes, thank you so much, Bonnie. Come on now. I love it. I love it. I love it. Please remember to hit the thumbs up button. If you sit here and you walking away with your goals, your SMART goals that are realistic, right? We're getting rid of those unrealistic goals. We're setting smart goals that are realistic. Please give this video a nice thumbs up. It just supports the brand here, and also this particular challenge, so that other educators can make these same goals and can make these same strides. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time. Woo!